Call it an art, a sport, or a philosophy. Call it whatever you want to call it. But parkour is a relatively new activity which consists of running, jumping, climbing and vaulting. Since David Bell and Sébastien Foucan founded parkour and freerunning, it has spread from France to a worldwide audience, and more people are getting involved.
Parkour is getting from A to B really quickly over a bunch of obstacles. It's like getting away from something. You need to say you're getting a chase from someone, you're being chased, you need to get away.
First it was sort of an escape, from everyday life and going out and doing your own thing and just getting away from work.
Free running's where you're not really going anywhere in particular. You see a load of different obstacles and you do certain tricks over them.
Free running, for me at least, is more of a competitive, trick-based, sort of a skill-based practice where the moves are more defined. Parkour is more, for me, like a lifestyle and a total practice, whereas you see free running is more of a sort of a discipline. And some people would suggest that it would never exist if it wasn't for David Bell or Sébastien Foucan, particularly Bell because he was influenced largely by his father and his father's military training. I mean, that's arguably where the discipline came from. I don't think it would be anything in terms of its global popularity if it wasn't promoted by Bell and Foucan.
I reckon Sébastien took it to that next level. Parkour started out with David Bell as a discipline and a way to get away from things or get to anywhere you want to go. With Sébastien, he turned it into an activity.
I think it was sort of acceptable, or I think it was a natural offshoot for Foucan to develop free running as a way of making it a little bit more accessible to some of the kids and some of the older people exploring it who really didn't buy into the whole sort of spiritualism and the philosophy of it.
With certain sports you need to change, don't you? So like you changed it from parkour to free running. It's like surfing. You take the surfboard and you put wheels on it and you've got skateboarding, aren't you?
Yeah, I think the media is more interested in the spectacular tricks because that's what's going to sell. And I think it's easy to sell somebody jumping off a building and jumping down 4 or 5 stories or jumping across a seemingly insurmountable gap between 2 buildings because it's that amazing. I think parkour gives you an ability to overcome fears and pains or everyday challenges in everyday life by putting you in scary situations, by putting you in situations where you don't necessarily know what the outcome is going to be.
To overcome your fear, you have to face it, build on it, and keep going until that fear is gone. You do the spectacular stunts more to show, say this is what you can do. If you start this sport, you could work your way up to this.
See, I would be more prepared to categorize parkour as an art and something more along the lines of martial arts than an extreme sport. Now, some people will say that martial arts, of course, in its sort of more sporting organized form is competitive as well, but parkour for me is more like the fluidity of water and the fluidity of movement. I think that a lot of people buy into the image of a lot of the extreme sports, and that's why they rely on global promotion through commodity forms like clothing and music and videos, whereas I think in parkour it's not so much based on globally marketing the sport, but I don't think the movement, if you want to talk about a global parkour movement, relies so much on that as the snowboarding industries or skateboarding industries. Yeah, I think it would be neat to have free running as an event at the Olympics, particularly the Summer Games. I think if we allowed something like free running or parkour to enter into the games, it might usher in a new kind of sensibilities, and it might get more kids involved in athletics and more kids involved in sport in general. I think there's a huge future to parkour. I think there's enough people involved right now that it's going to maintain its presence. The more people that get involved, the more meanings and uses we'll see for it.